Hello everyone, very warm welcome to StudyIQ IAS English, and I'm your educator Praveen Mishra. So let's start today's session, right? That is about how to write the quality answers in our examination, mains examination, obviously, right? So, there are many, like what we say, rumors or many speculations or anticipations or many ideas that we might be having, rumors to ideas, we might be having both. Okay, but here the only agenda for me to come in front of you guys here is to just eliminate the rumors and just validate, justify, or just testify the idea factors. Okay, so let's talk about the features first of all. How to write a good answer, right? So here we have got some features, that is obviously, to write effective answers for UPSC CSE mains within 150 to 250 words. Okay, following strategies are here. The first one, understand the question. Second, structure your answer, introduction, main body, and then we have got, the conclusion thing, right? Obviously, we have heard these things a lot, right? Like introduction, main body, conclusion, blah, blah things. Obviously, we have heard this, n number of times. So what's new? Okay, tell me the proper way to write. Okay, I need that answer. I know that, okay, since the school days, since my college days, I'm writing, introduction, the main body and conclusion. Okay, that's fine. So, but still, we are, surrounded in these things only. Wo introduction, wo main body, kaisa likhne ka, how to write. Let's just burst the myth. Just, crack the rumors. Just eliminate the rumors. Just wash away the rumors. Okay, whitewash them totally. Let me be very precise and very honest. I might sound harsh. I'm saying that. Okay, I might sound harsh. I'll tell you something, a ground reality. The best answer is the only answer where, you have represented the knowledge. Okay. All those people blabbering, okay? All those people blabbering that, you should write like this, you should write like that. Ask them one single question. Has UPSC given any, this type of a rough framework or a type of a framework or an idea that we are looking for such type of an answers? Is that so? Has UPSC given such type of justification? Absolutely not. Right? There is nothing known as such type of justification that UPSC wants this type of answers. There is no such type of a rough frame that has been mentioned by UPSC that, oh, we are looking for this thing. There is nothing like that, literally nothing like that. Okay, but what are the facts? Let me be very precise here once again. UPSC, it's not just the game of knowledge. It's also how you represent. Okay, it's not simply just the knowledge. Remember, okay, it is about how you represent it as well, how wonderfully you represent it as well, right? Okay, it's not how great knowledge you have. Yes, you must be having some good knowledge, but how great you can represent, that makes the difference. That provides you the score. Exact words what we can have here, right? Okay, so remember, it's not just the game of knowledge, it's also about your representation skills. Right. Okay. And now being very precise here once again. Okay. That, okay, knowledge, representation, everything is fine. But the one, who gains good marks is the one who has done good, ample amount of practice. The more and more you sweat in the practice, the less and less you bleed in the battle zone. Right. So remember, guys, we have got this enough of them. Right, that knowledge, representation, introduction, conclusion, main body in between that, okay, precision targeting, right, like writing the facts and figures, obviously, right. See, if you have knowledge, you will have the marks. That's it, simple. Okay, and now let's be here. Now, what are the things that are mentioned here? Okay, what are the things that are specifically mentioned here as what we can see? Okay, so understand the question. Yes, obviously. Okay, identify the keywords, right? Whatever the keywords, in your school days, in your English grammar specifically, that subject and object, subject and predicate thing you might have done, right? In your English grammar, I'm 100% sure you might have done that, right? Okay. The very same thing what you have to do here is identify the subject and the predicate, right? So identify the keywords like analyze, discuss, what is the theme of the question, that is, stick to the core demand and avoid any kind of irrelevant details. Don't try to, just cover the words. Now, before we start something, okay, just let's talk about the word limit. There are two types of questions, 10 marks and 15 marks. 150 words, 250 words. Obviously, it's very precise thing. And writing an answer within 150 words is a very irritating thing. Very, very irritating thing. You have to represent highest amount of knowledge with some good courtesy of representation. And yes, the limit is just 150 words. Right, you have to do that as well. So let's talk about, okay, these are the things we know it very well, and we are not going to discuss any further things in here. Right. So when we just talk about this line, be concise and precise. Use simple language first of all. Okay, you don't need to be Shashi Tharoor or Shakespeare. Okay. Use simple vocabulary, as simple as you can. Let me give you a very general reference. Let's talk about India's greatest authors, present day, modern India, not the ancient or the older ones, okay? Present modern India. The one you are considered, were very great novelists or very, a good public figure. Like we have got this name, Chetan Bhagat. We have got this name, Ravinder Singh with us, right? Okay, let's consider Chetan Bhagat. Why is Chetan Bhagat a very great writer? On whose writings many movies have been made, Three Idiots, that Kai Poche, that Half Girlfriend, Two States, right? One Night at Call Center. These are the 5 movies which are based on the writings of Chetan Bhagat. What Chetan Bhagat writes? Something very extraordinary? No. You read Chetan Bhagat's paragraphs. You read Chetan Bhagat's writings. That's his books. You will get to see he has written in a very simple language. And the representation is in a way there you are able to visualize the story. When you are reading Chetan Bhagat or even Ravinder Singh, I will say, you are visualizing the story and you are relating it as well. So, you're relating it, like you read the statement and you said that, oh fish, damn, this is my story. My brother's story, my sister's story, my cousin's story, my friend's story, or someone's story I know. Right? Someone in my contact list I have been knowing, okay, my friends, some of my family member, my siblings, or maybe my partner, my spouse, someone's story is this. Your story could it be? So this is the way Chetan Bhagat has written the novels. Okay, very normal writing, very, very normal writing, but you don't need to read it twice. Any paragraph, you don't need it to, you don't need to read twice. Just one reading is more than enough. And yes, you are visualizing all what is written. You can visualize the words, you can visualize the whole scene, that is, right? So it is providing an impact, an interest, and then you are waiting for next novel of Chetan Bhagat, right? So this is what the logic says. So be as simple as you can. Don't try to be Shakespeare or Shashi Tharoor, right? So avoid any kind of jargon, okay, and stick to the word limit. Now, let's demystify this. 150 words and 250 words. Let's demystify this. See, there is no one who is going to calculate each and every word. Okay. Let's be very specific. Neither UPSC has given any such type of, guidelines as well. Okay. So this is also what we are discussing is the general pattern, the general behavior. Okay, just the general things. So as per the general things, what we need to understand here, that let's say 150 words or 250 words, whatever. Okay, whatever. You can have a liberty or a bandwidth plus minus 20 words. Not 20 exactly, but yes, between 10 to 20 words. If it is exceeding, not 20 even, 15 words we can say. Okay, right? So if it is plus or minus 15 words, that would work. Okay, so let's say 150. Okay, you have written it between 135 to 140 or maybe 145 words. That will also work. If it is 150, you have written it between 155 to 160 or 165. That is also going to work. Don't worry. That, oh my God, I have used 5-10 words more. No. Now my marks will be, deducted, or, it will be, some reduced marks will be given to me. No, don't worry. Right? So 15 words plus minus. Let's say it is 250 words. So you have written in 255, 260, 265. It will work. Okay, and in that very same way, if it is 250 words, let's say maximum, so I've written in 240 words, 235 words, 245 words as well. Doesn't makes any huge level of difference. Okay, 15 words plus minus would work for you. Okay, 15. Right, not more than that. Try to cover it within your word limit as well. But in case, it exceeds, don't worry. 10-15 words, it is negligible amount and the examiner understands. Okay, so you need not take much stress. And this is the myth buster session, guys. Remember, we are just bursting all the myths here, right? Okay, and now, when we talk about the next things, okay, here, incorporate facts, the most important thing. As I stated in the beginning, knowledge is the key, right? So incorporate as much as facts. Use relevant statistics like government schemes or, the reports from Niti Aayog or economic survey, right? Add, it provides you the credibility. It adds up your credibility. And practice answer writing, remember, guys. Okay, as much as practice you are going to do. See, if you have qualified your prelims right now, so there is no task, there is no sense of asking you guys that whether you have done the basics or not. If you have qualified prelims, you're done with the basics. Even you're done with the advanced. Now it is practice. And now to all those who are going to appear this year's prelims as well as next year's prelims, this year's mains as well as next year's mains. Let's be very honest here once again. If you have gone through the calendar of UPSC 2026, how many days gap you are having from your prelims to your mains? Some 87 or 86 days. 24th of May is your prelims 2026 and 21st of August your mains is starting, right? So as you can see, 24th of May, June 1 month, July 1 month and 20 days of your August. So you can say simply 86-87 days you have been granted by UPSC, okay, from prelims to mains. So obviously you need to have the top gear. You need to have your speed as much as you can. You can't even, generally it happens that students, they do try to take a break of 2-3 days, 4-5 days, or even a week from prelims to mains. And then after a week, they tend to start their mains preparation in case they are qualifying, right? But here you can't even afford 2 days or 3 days. You can afford maximum 1 day of gap. Maximum 24th of May prelims got over. 25th of May you took the rest, and now 26th or maximum from 27th of May you will have to get back to your table. Right? Okay, because just 87 days maximum it is the gap. So remember, practice is the key. You are practicing, you are done. Okay, and presentation, right? Legibly use bullet points or diagrams if relevant, and underline key phrases for emphasis. Now let's demystify this thing as well. See, if you are comfortable in writing paragraph wise, write it in paragraphs. Doesn't matter. Right? It's always better, specifically for 150 words questions, okay, that you follow the bullet form. Okay, it's no written convention. Remember, it's nothing known as a rule or a guideline. It's just, I'm talking about the convenience. If it is a 150 word question, it's convenient to write in the bullet form, that is the points form. Okay. Or else if you think, no, I'm comfortable in writing paragraphs only, no worries, you write paragraphs. Right? Specifically when it comes to subjects like geography, environment and ecology. Here right now we are dedicatedly discussing about the polity questions only, but just giving you the extra information here. Let's say it is the subject of geography or environment and ecology or even disaster management. I have got good scope of making the diagrams. Right? I can't make diagrams in polity. I can't make diagrams in economics, right? But what I can make is the flow charts, right? This is not a taboo. Remember, okay? This is not a banned thing that, oh, I can't use flow charts. Why not? Who said you can't use? You can use and you must use, right? See, UPSC is once again not just game of knowledge, game of representation of your knowledge as well. How wonderfully you are representing it. That's what is going to make the difference, right? Okay. So remember, you can write it in paragraph. It is totally up to your comfort. Totally up to your comfort. You think I'm better in paragraph, you write in paragraph. You think I'm better in bullets, I'll write it in bullets. You think I'm better in making flowcharts? Okay, no worries. There is nothing known as a written rule or a convention or any kind of a guidelines given by UPSC or any other organization that, oh, you must follow this. Okay, absolutely not. Now, let's talk about the other precision things. Okay, presentation and everything. Okay, let's go ahead and understand it through some questions. Okay, how my knowledge will provide me the boost. And remember, reading is a must. Knowledge, information is a must. Without that, whatever representation skills you have, it's not going to make any difference for you. Literally not make any difference for you. So here we have a type of a question with us, okay, the previous year's question. How is the Finance Commission of India? Okay, how is the Finance Commission of India constituted? What do you know about the terms of the reference of the recently constituted Finance Commission? Okay, 15 marks question, that is 250 words. Let's just discuss the features first of all, what we need to identify. How is the finance? So the question is about Finance Commission. That's done. Okay. Now the recent trend of UPSC, okay, not recent trend, it is a trend which is UPSC, following since last couple of decades, not years, decades, right? That is, they're asking the dual label questions. Dual label of the questions has in static plus dynamic. Okay, they are inducing current affairs in the static portion only or inducing static portion in the current affairs only, whatever, both are same, right? So as you can see, the first part is a static, that how is the Finance Commission of India constituted or established. Now second part, it is totally dynamic, that is current affairs. What do you know about the recent constituted Finance Commission, the terms of reference of the recently constituted Finance Commission? So this is the UPSC question of 2021. Right. So they have been asking this question, remember, from the static plus dynamic, both ones. Right. So if we just go ahead with the features now, let's talk about how I craft a very wonderful answer. Right. So here you can see the introduction concept. Right? Yes, in 250 words, when I'm writing the 250 words of the question, so I have got some liberty with me. I can write good introduction, right? Because I have got 100 words extra as compared to 150 words question, right? So the Finance Commission, introduction, is a constitutional body constituted under Article 280 of the Indian Constitution, right? So its main role is what? To recommend the distribution of the financial resources between the center and the states. You heard that, na? First impression, last impression. See, with this one paragraph, introductory paragraph, I have told this to the examiner that, dear examiner, I have got all knowledge, absolute knowledge about Finance Commission, right? But let's talk about that. How can we just reduce the word limit here? Okay, so Finance Commission is the constitutional body. Okay, yeah, I will have to mention this. Finance Commission is a constitutional body mentioned under Article 280. Can I not, just skip this line of the Indian Constitution? No, I cannot skip this line. I will have to take care of this line. Okay, so it is a constitutional body, okay, mentioned Article 280, of which obviously then I will have to mention of the Indian Constitution. Okay, and now its main role is to what? Recommend what? The distribution of financial resources between the center and the state. So with this, I have given this statement to the examiner that yes, dear examiner, I have got absolute information on the Finance Commission. Right. So now, firstly, I will talk about the first part of the question. What is the first part? How is the Finance Commission of India constituted or established? So now I will say that yes, as per the provisions of the Constitution, right? It is under Article 280, Finance Commission is appointed by the President every 5 years or whenever as the President may deem necessary. Then consists of a chairperson and 4 other members. So I've told them that yes, it is having totally 5 members, 1 chairperson and 4 other members. Okay, see, it's in the bullet forms, right? As you can see, which form it is all about? It's the bullet form. Okay, right? So what I'm having here? So a chairperson and 4 other members. Their qualification and everything, it is decided by the Parliament. Okay, so having qualifications as prescribed by the Parliament. The next, what I have mentioned, recommendations are absolutely advisory in nature, but widely followed. Okay, widely followed, but yes, recommendation is absolutely advisory. That is not mandatory on the government. And so far, I have also mentioned that 15 finance commissions have been constituted. So with this, I have given my informational representation that yes, I have got information as per Article 280 of the Indian Constitution. And now I'll jump to the next portion of the question. That is the static one, the dynamic one, the terms of reference. Okay, the terms of reference as in what are the things the freshly constituted Finance Commission, that is the 15th Finance Commission as per the 2021, okay, was having. So it was led by N.K. Singh, constituted in the year 2017, submitted its report in the year 2021 for the time period of 2021 to 26. Okay, so now I have given the information about the 15th Finance Commission. Previously, I was giving the static information about the Finance Commission as per Article 280. Now I'm giving the information about the freshly constituted Finance Commission. It is headed by N.K. Singh. Okay, 15th Finance Commission it is, established or constituted in the year 2017, reported in 2021 for the time period covering 2021 to 26. And now I have given this information. That is, the distribution of financial resources between the center and the states should be happening as per the reports like this. Okay, as per the report like this. So what I have mentioned, the vertical and horizontal devolution or the sharing of taxes between the center and the states. So N.K. Singh Commission, the 15th Finance Commission, stated that the taxes should be shared, okay, between the center and the states, that is the vertical, as well as the horizontal, that is between the different organizations working within the states. Right, so I have given this information now. Next, review performance of centrally sponsored scheme and suggested repatriation, okay, or reprioritization basically. Then examine the impact of GST on the state finances, recommend measures to improve the fiscal discipline, and it suggested performance-based incentives on parameters like population of 2011 census, tax efforts, demographic performances, solid waste management, etc. That is, I can mention here how many states are following strictly the provisions of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, right? So all of these information I can mention. And finally, okay, examine funding for defense and internal security separately. So, this is what, okay, sounds very simple and easy, as because it is now just represented in front of you. But I can write it in the examination hall only when I'm having proper information, proper knowledge. Only when I'm having what? Proper information and proper knowledge, that is proper reading. Until and unless I'm having the proper reading, will I be able to write all of these things? Impossible for me. From where I will get the data? From where I will get the content, right? So let's just demystify the myths, guys. Let's just, have this myth buster here. Burst all the myths. Reading and then practicing. Read, practice, read, practice, read and write, read and write. This is what is the only key to your success in your mains examination. Apart from that, stop wasting your time that, conclusion kaise likhna hai, main body kaise likhni hai, wo introduction kaise likhna, all of these things will be followed. But first read, then write. Practice, practice and practice. This is what the key to success is, right? So all of these things will be only possible when I have done the proper reading and then the proper practice. Okay, so here we go. The conclusion. Now, since it is 250 marks question, so I have got the conclusive statement with me as well, right? So as you can see, the conclusion has been marked. Okay, so the Finance Commission plays a pivotal role in maintaining the cooperative federalism. Now, with this word, cooperative federalism, I have told the examiner that I know that India is a type of a cooperative federal state. Quasi-federal, okay, that's the political structure, but when it comes to the fiscal relationship, so we are cooperative federal. Okay, so cooperative federalism is what I am following by ensuring equitable distribution of fiscal or the financial resources, right? So the evolving terms of reference reflect India's shifting priorities in governance, security, and sustainability, right? So if you just have a look at these two things, the suggestions, okay? 6th point, examining funding for defense and internal security separately, and then, how the resources shall be shared as per the population density, 2011 census, obviously. Then Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, which state is taking care of the cleanliness. Apart from that, the tax efforts, how much efforts the states are representing in collecting the taxes and so on, right? So as per the above facts, as per the features of the report, I have now what identified the conclusion. So conclusive statement is exactly referring the report's findings, the 15th Finance Commission's reports, right? So I have mentioned what? The cooperative federalism, okay, and the evolving terms of reference. Okay, I've mentioned the TOCs, that is TORs, that is the terms of reference, reflecting what? India's shifting priorities in governance, obviously, then security as well as sustainability. This is where, all of the provisions, all of the points, all of the facts of the reports has been referring as well. So this is my conclusive statement as well. Remember, your conclusive statement should always and always be related to your final this main body. Always. It should not be like your conclusion is different and main body is different. And don't write conclusion just for the namesake, just for the sake of completing the formality. Don't ever do that. Okay. If you're writing the conclusion, make sure that conclusion is, those 3-4 lines, whatever, they are just summarizing all of the above written facts. Right? Just don't write the conclusion for the namesake, okay, that with the above written facts, it is clear that with the 15th Finance Commission is a very, advanced body and taking care of the fiscal distribution. No, this is nonsense. Examiner might get happy with the main body, but, reading the conclusion, examiner might get irritated and might reduce your marks, might provide you some deficit in the marks. Okay, there could be high level of deduction. Right. So examiner will take care of the first impression, that is the introduction, and then the main body, and then before finalizing the marks, okay, whatever marks as per the examiner you are entitled to be given as per the answer, right, will be based on the conclusion as well. So before finalizing the marks, okay, the examiner will first read the conclusion. Right. Okay. So remember, your conclusive statement should be, having a tally. It should be mixing, or it should be matching with the main body, or else it's going to be difficult, right? Examiner will will for sure deduct the marks, okay? So let's see one more question, another type. The Constitution of India is a living instrument with capabilities of enormous dynamism. Okay, so there is a question about the Constitution of India. Okay, what has been mentioned, that as you can see, it is a living instrument with capabilities of enormous dynamism, and it is a constitution made for a progressive society. Illustrate with a special reference to the expanding horizons of the right to life and personal liberty. Right? So what is the question once again? The Constitution of India is the living instrument. So the theme of the question is how Constitution of India is the living instrument. Okay. And next, the genesis has been mentioned as well. That is specifically with regard to right to life and personal liberty, that is under Article 21. So now two things that I have to mention here. Okay, how Constitution is a living document. Okay, first of all, and how Article 21 justifies this living document feature of the Constitution. So I have to mention these two things now. So let's talk about, obviously I have got now the liberty of the introduction because 250 words it is. So the Indian Constitution is often described as living document because it evolves through judicial interpretation of legislative amendment and societal progress. And we have known it very well that Article 21, okay, that is right to life and personal liberty, is the smallest article. It's written in just 4 lines in the Constitution, but with the widest of the connotations, widest of the explanations. Why? Because life and liberty depends, the definition of life and liberty changes from person to person. What's definition for life what is the definition of life for you? Could not be and could be the same for me. What's the definition of life for me? Could not be, okay, and could be the same for you as well. So it varies greatly. Okay, the variation to the definition of life and even liberty changes from person to person, and hence as a result what we have seen that Article 21 has given enormous amount of judgments. So this is where I have made the introduction. So as per Article 21, early interpretation, that is the narrow scope. I have mentioned the early interpretation, that is the narrow scope. So I have mentioned a case reference. Okay, I have to represent my knowledge, right? So as per the A.K. Gopalan versus the State of Madras case of 1950, Article 21 was narrowly interpreted to mean only procedural legality, ignoring any kind of fairness or reasonableness. It was, mentioned under the A.K. Gopalan case that Article 22, Clause 3, Subclause B is an exception to Article 20, Clause 1. This is what, Supreme Court mentioned. Right. So there they focused on procedural legality as well, ignoring all kind of reasonableness and fairness. Okay. So this first thing I have mentioned. Then second thing what I have mentioned here, transformative interpretation. That, okay, I realized that no, I should have given a different judgment in the A.K. Gopalan case. So then when I got the another cases, let's say the landmark judgment of the Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India, 1978, changed this by holding that any procedure must be just, fair and reasonable, laying the foundation for the substantive due process doctrine in India. So what Maneka Gandhi case did, it represented a change. That is, the word that is written, the phrase that is written, procedure established by law, will be now read as due process of law. Written is procedure established by law, but it will be read as due process of law. Right. So now the mistake I did in the A.K. Gopalan case, I have rectified it into the Maneka Gandhi case. Okay, so evolution of Article 21. Okay, in A.K. Gopalan case, I didn't provide much impetus, but in the next one, that is the Maneka Gandhi case, I provided total impetus. Now, I can't define much more here. Right, I have got the word limit as well as time with me. Right, so time limit as well as word limit. Now what I can do is I can represent it in such manner, that is chart. So one side judgment, another side the evolution, that how the new dimensions have been added. So as per my knowledge, Article 21's judgment that evolved Article 21, Supreme Court's judgment that evolved Article 21, ultimately evolving the Constitution. So it is the Coelho versus, Francis Caroline Mullin versus Administrator, right to life with human dignity. Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India case 2017, a right to privacy, intrinsic part of right to life and personal liberty under Article 21. Then Common Cause versus Union of India, right to die with dignity, okay, with passive euthanasia thing, the Gyan Kaur case as well as Arunima Shanbok case, okay. So I have got the Shaira Banu or the Saira Banu versus Union of India case, okay, right of Muslim women to constitutional justice, that is, ask for the alimony in case of talaq, whatever it is, talaq or talaq-e-biddat. Okay, that is triple talaq. Then Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India 2018. Okay, right to sexual orientation and identity, that is LGBTQ community. Right. So with this, I have represented all of my knowledge, all of my information I had. Okay, from the perspective of Article 21. I have represented all of my knowledge here, everything I know, right? And now this is a very perfect representation. Now I have stated that yes, Article 21 possess the right to fair alimony, right to have my own sexual orientation, right to die with dignity, passive euthanasia. Then it possess the right to privacy and right to live with human dignity and everything. So this is how the Constitution has evolved under Article 21. This is how I have mentioned. And then I will provide the conclusion. And now if you see the conclusion, okay, it will justify all the previous written facts. Okay, as in the Indian Constitution, especially through Article 21, showcases its progressive spirit by adapting to the changing needs of society. Like LGBT was not part of the society once upon a time, but with the Navtej Singh Johar case, it is. It is decriminalized. Section 377 has been considered unconstitutional against Article 14, 15, 19 and 21. Right? Then I have mentioned here a line. Reflects Dr. Ambedkar's vision of constitution that is not rigid but capable of growing with the nation. So Indian Constitution's nature, it is rigid as well as flexible. Right? So this is where Ambedkar Sahab was having the vision for the Constitution. Right? Now, let's understand with one more question. Here we go. The most significant achievement of modern law in India is the constitutionalization of environmental problems by the Supreme Court. Discuss this statement with the help of relevant case laws in 10 marks, that is 150 words only. Now there is a problem. Till now I was having 250 words, 10 marks. Okay, so I was having the liberty of introduction, main body, conclusion. Now I am clean bold, 150 words. Oh my God, how am I going to handle this? Right? So it's very simple. Remember guys, have this myth buster. It's not always necessary to have that introduction, main body, conclusion. 150 words, man, come on. How am I going to do that? Impossible. Right? You will breach the word limit. You will reach up to 200 words. Examiner will say, "Acha, hame sikha riya hai." Like that. Examiner will be like, "Okay, becoming too smart." And let me tell you one thing. Those examiners now, they are having absolute authority. They are not answerable to anyone. That why they have given 10 out of 10 marks, why they have given 0 out of 10 marks, why they have given 5 out of 10 marks. Never. Okay, they have got absolute discretion and authority. They will just send your report card to the UPSC and UPSC will say, okay, done. Right? So remember, do not mess with the examiner. Right? That's why I stated in the beginning, 10, 15 words plus minus, it's acceptable. Not beyond that. Even if you go 20, that is not acceptable. Right? Okay. So remember, okay, understand myth. It is, burst this myth, that is every question must start with intro, main body, conclusion. Kuch nahi. Just start writing with 150 words. Now, show it in flowcharts, show it in bullets, okay? Or just with regard to paragraph, it is here. So environmental protection in India has transcended statutory framework and become the part of constitutional jurisprudence primarily through judicial activism under Article 21, right to life. So I've mentioned. And now I will come directly to the key features. Done? 2 lines, kind of an introduction, that's done. Okay. So the Supreme Court has interpreted the right to life, okay, to include the right to clean and healthy environment. And I have mentioned a case reference, Subhash Kumar versus the state of Bihar, 1991. The court held that the pollution-free water and air are essential to life. And then I have mentioned another case, MC Mehta versus Union of India case about Ganga pollution, oleum gas leak, Taj trapezium. The court invokes Article 48 capital A and 51 capital A subclause G, that is fundamental duties, right, to direct authorities and industries to adapt sustainable practices. So here I am mentioning my knowledge that I know about the Taj trapezium. Okay, I know about the oleum gas leak. I know about the Ganga pollution and how this is, troubling my life and liberty. And now finally, the conclusive statement it is in the very same page. The Vellore Citizens Welfare Forum versus Union of India 1996. Judgment further integrated sustainable development into Indian environmental law. And that's it. The Supreme Court has transformed environmental protection into what? A fundamental right, making it enforceable and positioning itself as green guardian of the Constitution. Okay, so final line, the punch line. Supreme Court is what? The green guardian of the Constitution. Supreme Court is the custodian of the fundamental rights. Guardian of the Constitution, but yes, also now the green guardian of the Constitution. That is, considering Article 21, right to life and personal liberty, which is not possible without clean environment, clean air, sanitation, clean drinking water, etc. Right. So here we have got one more question with us. Right to movement or right of movement and residence throughout the territory of India are freely available. Okay, that's fine. To whom? To Indian citizens. But the second switch. But these rights are not absolute. So now I have to mention about one thing, that is doctrine of reasonable restrictions. Okay, doctrine of reasonable restrictions. This is what the demand of the question is, specifically talking about Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause D, that is freedom of movement, Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause E, that is freedom of residence. So considering these two, I have to explain the reasonable restrictions. Now, once again, how many words? 150 words, 10 marks. So let's see. The right to movement, okay, I have mentioned Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause D and Subclause E. And these rights are essential for what? For national integration, because I will reside, I'm born in Varanasi, I'm residing in Tamil Nadu. So I'm integrating Varanasi with Chennai. Okay, so let's say I have studied in Delhi and now I'm working in XYZ city. Right, so I'm integrating two cultures, right? Okay, so economic mobility, obviously, and yes, personal liberty as well. However, now I have to switch to the reasonable restrictions. These rights are not absolute, as none of the rights are, and can be reasonably restricted. And now I have mentioned the reasonable restriction article number to these two, that is Article 19, Clause 5. In the interest of whom? Reasonable restrictions can come in the interest of the general public, the scheduled tribes, as well as the security and public order of the country. Right. Let's say if a person is infected through any communicable disease, a vector-borne or the communicable disease. Right. So that person's freedom of movement and residence could be restricted, just like the COVID. If you were the person who was infected by the COVID, you were directly, taken up into the quarantine center. You were not allowed to move. You were not allowed, to hang out anywhere until and unless you are now COVID negative, right? So this is what? The general public's health. Any area that is considered as scheduled and tribal areas, you can't go in there. If you want to go in there, you need the ILP, inner line permit. And yes, when it comes to security of the state or even the public order, then also your movement can be restricted. This is what Article 19 Clause 5 has stated. And now, for example, I have given, yes, ILP. Okay, what I need? ILP to move in any particular location which is having a scheduled and tribal areas. Right? Okay. So now I have mentioned about Article 370. It was because of Article 370, many of the areas were restricted in Jammu and Kashmir region as well. And now a case study. I've mentioned the case study, Madhya Pradesh versus Baldev Prasad, emphasizing the need for balance between individual liberty and societal interest. So I've mentioned this. And finally, thus, while the Constitution promotes free movement and residence, reasonable limitations ensure cultural preservation and public welfare. So I have to balance both. That yes, I have got freedom of speech and expression, freedom of residence and movement, but yes, I have also got the doctrine of reasonable restrictions. So if you see, the demand of the question has been totally satisfied. The right of movement of residents throughout the territory of India freely available to Indian citizens, but the rights are not absolute. Okay, and I have mentioned the rights are not absolute and they shouldn't be absolute as well, as it is needed for the sake of societal interest, national interest and everything. Okay, so guys, remember, in conclusion, what I would like to quote here. Just please do not think, okay, that I have, busted majority of the myths here in past 1 hour, I think, okay. And now with that myth buster, you are now aware that yes, there is nothing known as, writing conclusion, main body and introduction in every type of an answer. If you are writing with the flow charts, writing with the bullets, nothing needed. If it is a 10-mark question, you can just simply start writing, okay. Try to just change or switch the paragraphs, that's it. When it comes to 15 marks question, okay, you have got liberty of 250 words there. Okay, a proper conclusion, proper introduction between the main body could be given. And remember, it should be tallied. It should be synced. Your main body should be synced with introduction and should be synced with conclusion as well, right? Okay. Yes, hello, good afternoon. Sangam, hello, good afternoon. Arvinda, hello, Danish. And Sanjana, 7th and 8th June का newspaper analysis नहीं किया है, because from now onwards it will be our Shubham sir, okay, who will be taking care of the Hindu analysis, and Ankit sir is continuing with the Indian Express at 4 p.m. Shubham sir, I guess 10 a.m. in the morning, Shubham sir will be taking care of the Hindu analysis, right, on the same channel, that is StudyIQ IAS English. Okay, so 10 a.m. Shubham sir, the Hindu, 4 p.m. okay, Ankit sir with the Indian Express, right? Okay. So guys, I hope all of your myths have been, now demystified. All of the myths have been bursted now. Any questions, guys? Any other doubts? Anything else you need? So, just remember one thing, okay? That is, read and write. Read and write. As much as you read, as much as you practice, you are done. Don't focus on what, that person is saying, this person is saying, this book is saying, that channel is saying, that book is saying, nothing. All nonsense. All literal, utter nonsense, I'll tell you. Okay? You have your knowledge, practice it. You have got the frame now, okay, that what should be the proper frame of answers. That's it, you are done. Okay? Now, prepare for the interview. Okay, guys, so remember one last thing, you need to do what? You need to subscribe to the StudyIQ IAS English channel. You know the importance of the channel quite well. There is nothing to be stated now, okay, as you might have experienced it yourself. So you need to hit the subscribe button so that you never miss an update from the channel. And apart from that, if you wish to connect with me, we can connect on Instagram. You can search with the username Praveen Mishra _2107. Okay, and on Telegram you can join my channel for all PDFs and notes, that is a study _ remember guys, put this _ with _ Praveen. Okay, so here are the 2 paragraphs. Okay, ना करें भाईजान it's ना करें पाईजान, okay, in their Pakistani accent, okay, and that is different. So it's let it be. Okay. Sir, newspaper daily you are getting there. Okay. Yes, it was not aired yesterday and day before as we were switching. Okay. So me and Shubham sir, we have switched a bit. Okay. So Shubham sir is now taking care of newspaper The Hindu, and once again Ankit sir, okay, for Indian Express. Okay. So 10 a.m. with Shubham sir and 4 p.m. with Ankit sir, The Hindu and Indian Express, you get synced. Okay. And remember guys, one thing I will say this, don't take this pressure that I have to see both. Okay, please. Nah, please don't get misguided. We are providing the multiple analysis because there are students those who favor The Hindu, there are students those who favor the Indian Express. So if you favor watching The Hindu, watch The Hindu. If you favor watching the Indian Express, watch Indian Express. Okay, so there is nothing that the channel is providing you both the newspapers, so that means both the newspapers are important. No, one of it is important. You must either watch Shubham sir's The Hindu analysis or Ankit sir's The Indian Express analysis. Okay. Yes, Tally and everyone, I will start as of now. Right now, I'm too much occupied with some other tasks as well. Okay, so because of which I needed some, bandwidth, some extra level of bandwidth for myself. So because of which, okay, this particular switch has been done. Okay, so I believe there would be no problem. Okay, and you guys are now totally comfortable with The Hindu, so I don't think so it will be any problem for you guys. Okay, anything else guys? Yep. So remember, just hit the subscribe button, connect here for all the class PDFs and everything. And for any such discussion, you can ping me on Praveen Mishra _2107. That's on Instagram. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It was a really lovely and nice session. Please do share it with all of your friends, those who are preparing for, UPSC, CSE, whether giving the mains this year or targeting next year. Okay. And let them understand that this is the myth buster. That's what is needed. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. See you soon in the very next session. Stay tuned with the channel. Bye bye. Take care. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.